The fight for Proxima is Babylon 5's greatest space battle. It's got story, spectacle, twists and turns, and unlike many conflicts in the stars, you can actually follow what's going on. Let me tell you why it's so good.
Enough is enough.
First off, they do a great job setting the stakes. We know why this is happening now, why it's urgent, and why it's important. The battle for Proxima is the opening salvo in the Earth's civil war. Babylon 5 and its crew seceded from an increasingly fascist Earth alliance the previous season, but now a colony that wants to do the same is under blockade.
10,000 civilians whose only crime was trying to get out of the damn killing zone!
Civilian ships are being shot down and atrocities are being committed. Captain Sheridan can no longer sit on the sidelines.
The colony is very close to surrendering. They're running out of food, water, supplies. They're down to almost nothing.
Our heroes need to break the blockade and liberate Proxima 3 before it's too late. Now, space battles on screen often devolve into an incomprehensible sea of thousands of ships zapping laser beams at each other. I mean, like, what is even happening here? But Babylon 5 prepares us ahead of the battle, so we know what to expect and how things are going to work. Sheridan plans to use the element of surprise and attack on multiple fronts. It's mentioned several times that flanking the enemy ships will give them an edge, but destroying the enemy is a last resort.
We'll hit them in waves. Try to isolate the ships we need to destroy from the ones who won't fight unless they have to. Then we'll give them a chance to surrender or join up.
And if they don't?
We take them out.
These are Sheridan's fellow officers, fellow humans. He wants to avoid loss of life if he can.
If there were any other way, we'd take it. There isn't one.
There are 6 ships blockading Proxima. Some might disagree with the illegal orders to kill civilians. Others may be induced to surrender when faced with overwhelming force. Sheridan knows 2 of the 6 are almost certain to be hostile.
The Heracles and the Pollux have fired on civilian targets. So we consider them a hostile vessel.
The others are unknowns.
Unless they're all hostile and some are just more hostile than others.
The intrigue comes from not knowing where those captains stand, and whether Sheridan can win with minimal bloodshed.
Now it gets interesting.
The action begins. Sheridan's fleet gets the drop on the enemy, just as they planned. But there's still plenty of twists and turns to make things interesting.
Captain Sheridan, what's he doing here?
Making a terminal error.
We meet Fleet Captain Hall of the Heracles, one of the definitely hostile ships, and as expected, he's ready to fight.
This is Captain Edward McDougan of the Veth at a hostile vessel.
Mac, what the hell are you doing? Maintain radio silence.
But another captain isn't so sure. Captain Mackey was one of Sheridan's instructors at the academy. He tries to talk Sheridan into backing down,
This isn't gonna work.
but Sheridan reminds him of his ethical responsibilities.
You said that soldiers aren't machines. They have to think. They have to decide if an order is moral or not.
But what does your conscience tell you?
Mackey disengages, but that still leaves the other 5 ships. The captain of the Heracles has heard enough.
Fine, we'll force the issue. Open fire.
With combat initiated, Sheridan needs to know where the other captains stand, so he can concentrate his firepower. But the other captains aren't talking. So he takes his White Star and he makes a run at one of them.
We are not preparing to fire. If you and your fighters do not lock your weapon systems onto our ships, we will assume you are not hostile and will not engage.
With that, Sheridan figures out that the Furies won't engage. 2 down, 4 to go. Sheridan takes a hit, but it's from Mackey's ship. Wasn't he out of the battle?
I always knew you wanted a promotion, Bob.
It turns out Mackey's first officer had other ideas. He's taken control of the ship and created another dilemma for Sheridan.
No, I won't fire on her. Mackey's on board.
We have no choice. They've locked on, ready to fire.
Luckily, the crew don't feel the same way as the first officer. Mackey's ship is once again out of the fight. The Juno sees the odds are against them and makes a run for it. 3 down, 3 to go. As the battle rages on, a damaged White Star veers out of control and makes a head-on collision. This is what Sheridan had hoped to avoid.
Get to the life pods. Get to the life pod.
The Pollux is destroyed. Shortly after, the Nemesis surrenders. That just leaves the Heracles. But Captain Hall won't back down.
I'm in charge of this mission, Commander. I will not surrender Proxima or stand trial for following direct orders.
But this time, it's his first officer who intervenes.
I am relieving you of command. Remove Captain Hall from the bridge.
The battle is won, but there's no joy in the victory. Sheridan had hoped for far fewer deaths, and the battles to come promise to be much harder. What I love most about the Battle for Proxima is how it tells the story of the Civil War on multiple levels. You have Sheridan's fleet facing off against the Loyalists. But within the Earth Force fleet, you have 6 captains who are divided amongst themselves, each having to make the most important decision of their lives. Then, on board those ships, you have the people, the individual officers, who also have to choose for themselves. Follow illegal orders, or come into conflict with their comrades. It's a tragedy, played out on 3 different stages. The Battle for Proxima isn't great because it has the most ships or the biggest explosions. It's because it tells the best story and tells it so well. Do you think there's a better space battle out there? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I'll be seeing you.